the film and we're kind of ready for the world to see it. So I think it's more happy and exciting.
No, actually, now since you've seen the film, I think Kiku sir's track is my favorite.
And I think more than anything, I just want people to go and see it and then form their opinions based off of actually watching the movie objectively.
You are processing it, and then it's making you feel differently. So those are a little more challenging.
Hi, I'm Khushi Kapoor.
And I'm Junaid Khan.
And
you're watching us on IWMBuzz.
इतना सारा कुचियापा करने के बाद थोड़ा सा डाउटापा हो गया एंड देन बस अल्टीमेटली यही होता है कि थोड़ा सा ट्रस्ट आपा दिखा दे और थोड़ी सी रिस्पेक्ट आपा हो जाए तो लवयापा में से सारे यापा वापा वापस सब निकल जाए और सिर्फ लव रह जाता है. Hi everyone, this is Kunal Bukhari. You're watching me on IWMBuzz and please ignore my extremely pathetic wordplay. But I'm just excited because I'm sitting with the people who are responsible for Loveyapa. Junaid Khan and Khushi Kapoor. Hi guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Of course. And I mean, I just had a brief chat with Junaid earlier. I've already seen the film, so I was just saying that I loved it. And I'm not saying it for the sake of it, I genuinely loved it. There's so much to, uncover in the best way possible. I love the graphics part, by the way. There's so many graphics, Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll digress. I'll come to the first talk first conversation right away before I get to the film conversation. Is that there's so much white noise surrounding you guys right now, right? Good, bad, ugly, everything reaches you. It's not that it doesn't reach you. My question is that when you have so much going on around you, how do you manage to maintain the sanity and the objective?
Well, I think promotions are a very busy time. I don't think you have
Time.
the time to process really what is being
Anything.
said. Yeah, because you're jumping from one to the next. The screenings going on. We're doing interviews. We're going
Yeah.
places. So yeah, it's like it's a really busy time. So I don't think.
Yeah, my friends watched it. A lot of my friends watched it
Right.
yesterday for the first time, and the first thing was, "Are you nervous? Are you fine?" And I was just so tired. I was like,
I don't
I'm
even know
okay.
it.
I don't know what city I'm in
Yeah.
right now. But
They're
it's
like, how are you
exciting.
feeling? I'm like sleepy.
Yeah. No, but I think it's been good. I think we're happy with the film and we're kind of ready for the world to see it. So I think it's more happy and exciting right now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And of course, because the whole idea of Loveyapa in the first place, of course, but once people see the film, they'll understand is relatability, technology, and what it is able to. It can spoil people, but that is because you are the culprit yourself. It's not the device, right? So my question is that, of course, there are so many things in the film which is relatable for everyone. But for you, as people in real life, what has been the most relatable part when you are shooting it? Because किसी के लिए ज़्यादा relatable होता है जैसे मेरे लिए होता है किसी को गलत text भेज दिया गलती से and then you're like oh shit I should not have done that. So what has been the most relatable thing when you were shooting and I'm like oh okay this is something I do way too often.
Actually, now since you've seen the film, I think Kiku sir's track is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
It's
I
adorable.
think it's something that
I think it's so new for him also.
Yeah, I think it really
It was
speaks
really
to me.
refreshing.
Right.
But yeah, Advait has this line for this film, which is that the grass is always greener where you water it.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's what the film's about.
Right.
There has to be trust, communication, nourishment, and wherever you give that, those are the relationships that will
Flourish.
Flourish. No, fair, absolutely. And of course, coming back to the fact that there's so much, as I mentioned, even before seeing the film, people making judgments is probably the worst thing. And of course, it's beyond your control. You can't do anything about it. People are going to make opinions even before they see the film, right? And there is criticism that constantly gets directed for the wrong reasons mostly. It's not for the right reasons. So in all these things, when you actually hear this criticism, maybe before the film, maybe after the film, how much of that are you able to look at in a way, okay, this is fair, I get it, I should probably work on it? Or is it like, I know where I'm going and it's mostly just, as I mentioned, white noise going on here?
See, but I think right now, any conversation about the film, it's not really about the film because
True.
no one has seen the film yet. And I feel like a lot of it right now, hopefully, will be different when people actually go and watch the movie. Of course, we're not exactly like our characters. We're very different. Our personalities are very different. And I think we've made a really special movie over here. And I think more than anything, I just want people to go and see it and then form their opinions based off of actually watching the movie objectively. You know, outside of who's in it and just purely based off of what they feel about the film. And then I think after that happens, then we'll kind of be able to understand a bit better.
Well, yeah, I also feel that, I mean, all opinions are valid. And obviously, when the film is not out, then people are forming opinions based on whatever they can see and
Yeah.
whatever they generally feel otherwise in life.
Because that's what people do.
Yeah, and that's how we
Yeah,
all
that's-
behave about
yeah.
everything. So it's not necessarily only about film. And it's not necessarily only online. That's just how we are. I
Yeah,
mean, that's just how
people.
people are. So there's nothing wrong with that, I feel. And I feel once the film does come out, then it will just contextualize the conversation, which is also a good thing. I mean, it will eventually happen. For the good or for the worse. I mean, I think the film's good, but who knows, yeah?
Exactly. You can never predict. It's the most unpredictable thing ever. And Khushi just mentioned that, we are unlike our characters. I can completely vouch for it. Having seen the film, because it's so not you guys. Like, as I mentioned, now that you have a presence consistently out there, your characters are so unlike you guys. And that's the best part, because you're actors. You're here to play different characters. I just had to add that. And now, coming to the film, and this is spoiler alert. Obviously, this is going to go a little later as an interview. So it has to be, because I had to talk about favorite scene, okay, for each of you. For you, it was, I think, because as I mentioned, I've seen you in Maharaj, everybody's seen you in Maharaj, everybody's seen you in Archie's. For you, I think my favorite scene was when, he's just coming with all the confidence in Panache and sitting in front of Ashwashana, Lou is sitting like this and like, oh, okay, do this, do that. And then that dips completely when the restoring backup scene happens, right?
Yeah.
That for you. And for you, the monologue. Oh my God. The monologue, if when she's like, how he should come.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's rushed, but it's meant to be rushed in the best way. I mark these scenes because, as I mentioned, those are not some things which people are already, even though you're not just one film mode, they are not really used to seeing, okay, these guys can pull it off. For you, what are the standout scenes in a way that, that, okay, these are the scenes that I need to put a little extra? Or because this is completely out of my comfort zone? Or is it just like everything is a free flow?
Yeah, I think every scene is different. Actually, when we were shooting that scene, it was the one scene where afterwards I told Advait, I was like, can you shoot my access again, please? But he was like, no, I'm happy with the beginning of it, not the second part, the first part of it. But yeah, no, I think it turned out okay in the end.
True.
More than okay. What do you mean?
I think it turned out okay in the end. Yeah, I think some of the the physical scenes in the bedroom, the laughing or the whole Kuchi Poo thing, those were a little more, because you're going through different, you're reacting to the same emotion in different ways because you're processing it. Correct. You are processing it, and then it's making you feel differently. So those are a little more challenging.
Yeah, I think the scenes when you start at one emotion and end at another, because you kind of have to follow that graph a little bit,
especially without dialogue.
True.
Yeah, when you're just listening on the phone, especially when the person is not in front of you, you just kind of have to hear and imagine and then kind of show that graph, because you have to obviously start at one emotion and then end at something else. So I think those are always interesting to kind of find the wave a little bit. But I think you have to approach each scene with honesty. And for me, the scenes that feel the best to me are the ones where I feel like very true to myself. And of course, that's tricky when you're so different from your character. But I feel like even though your personalities are different, you can bring the same emotion to the character. So I think for me, those ones always feel the best.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you marked that, because yes, those are the difficult ones, because starting at one emotion, ending at the other, purely on imagination, is perhaps the toughest thing to do. Fantastic, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.